He almost quit. He struggled for years, pouring 18 hours a day into a computer screen, generating virtually no revenue. He had zero social life, zero balance, and nearly zero hope. Yet, in just 5 years, he went from an unknown name in the back of a closet to the most subscribed creator in the history of YouTube. We've all seen the videos, the houses, the cars, the millions in giveaways. But the real question is, how did Mr. Beast build the biggest channel in the world? The answer isn't just about money or luck. It's an 11-step, hyper-optimized strategy rooted in a level of obsession and structural efficiency that fundamentally breaks the model of the traditional creator economy. This video isn't about the stunts. It's about the business of Jimmy Donaldson and the tactical execution that turned his channel into a global machine. We're going to peel back the curtain on the YouTube retention strategies he mastered, the YouTube SEO blueprint he leveraged, and the extreme personal sacrifices that are rarely discussed. The path to unprecedented scale starts in a place no one expects, and it all begins with the single, most important decision he made: the transition from hobbyist to relentless student. If you want to understand the true engine of the Mr. Beast empire, you need to recognize the 11 pillars we're about to explore. Stay with me, because the first few moments of his career contain the most critical lessons for your own channel's growth. The What's in it for me plot. Welcome to the ultimate breakdown of the Mr. Beast success secrets. If you clicked on this video, you already know the stakes. You've seen the growth, and now you want the blueprint. The biggest mistake creators make is trying to copy the content without understanding the structure behind it. Today, we're providing that structure. I'm going to guide you through the 11 chronological and thematic phases of Mr. Beast's evolution, from his initial passion to his current status as a global CEO. This journey is broken into 3 parts. First, the foundational mindset, covering the obsession and the inner circle that powered his growth. Second, the scaling infrastructure, detailing the extreme outsourcing and physical expansion necessary to handle his ambition. And finally, the global domination strategy, the sophisticated content pivot that gave him a billion-person audience. Every one of these 11 segments contains actionable, high-level lessons that directly impact your ability to master audience retention and elevate your YouTube SEO. We'll analyze the moments he mastered hyper-optimization and ruthless efficiency, revealing the business of scaling a multi-billion view enterprise. By the end of this analysis, you won't just know who Jimmy Donaldson is. You'll understand the system he built, a system you can apply regardless of your niche. But to understand the machine, we have to start with the single, most critical element, the source of the engine. The origin story, finding the why. The foundation of the Mr. Beast empire isn't built on money. It's built on pure, intrinsic motivation. This is the authenticity pillar. When we look at his initial output, we see a creator driven by the simple, unadulterated joy of experimentation and the delight of seeing a reaction. He wasn't focused on a final payday or the glory of fame, but the process itself. He'd experiment with unconventional challenges because he genuinely thought it was fun and interesting. This early, uncorrupted passion is the key to longevity in the creator economy. This raw enjoyment is what fueled his consistency and what protected him from burnout during the years of minimal reward. This emotional anchor is arguably the most important element for audience retention because it ensures the creator's on-camera enthusiasm is genuine and infectious. Viewers can sense when a creator is simply chasing a trend versus pursuing a true passion. The lesson here is profound. Exponential growth demands a period of total commitment, and only genuine, intrinsic passion can sustain that commitment. The moment he discovered the joy in the process, the why, he laid the groundwork for the extreme work ethic that would follow. That work ethic is the second pillar, and it's where the story takes a jarring turn toward the extraordinary. The obsession and sacrifice. The next phase requires a psychological reset. This is the obsession pillar. After finding his core motivation, Mr. Beast and his early team entered a period of extreme, monastic focus that would make any business school student balk. We're talking about an unwavering dedication where work consumed virtually every waking hour. He vividly recalls the 18-hour Skype calls where the only goal was dissecting competitor videos, studying trends, and reverse engineering the YouTube retention algorithm. The commitment was absolute. no dating, no drinking, and virtually no social life. The psychological lesson here is that he treated YouTube not as a casual platform, but as a solvable code. They believed that if they simply studied the data more relentlessly than anyone else, they could break the system. This extreme dedication served two purposes. First, it generated an immense volume of ideas and data-driven insights. Second, it built a narrative of earned success. When you hear about this level of sacrifice, it justifies the immense reward, which makes the entire story more compelling for the audience. While this level of dedication is undeniably intense and arguably unhealthy, it demonstrates that true scale requires a period where the mission becomes the sole, non-negotiable priority, creating the necessary momentum to separate from the field. The importance of the peer group. The obsession pillar did not happen in isolation. It required the collaborative accelerator. This is the power of the mastermind group. mrbeast didn't just have friends. He had a core group of peers who shared the exact same, uncompromising ambition. They created a culture where every mistake was shared, analyzed, and learned from collectively. He calculated that this process allowed them to operate 2 years ahead of any solo creator. Think of it like this. If one creator makes a mistake and learns a lesson, that's 1 unit of knowledge. If 5 creators make mistakes and share them instantly, that's 5 units of knowledge gained by all 5 individuals. This system of collective learning is highly actionable for creators in any niche. It's not just about finding collaborators. It's about finding a circle dedicated to brutal, efficient feedback and mutual study. This environment was crucial for optimizing YouTube SEO and audience retention strategies because it allowed them to test ideas rapidly and identify algorithmic patterns faster than anyone else. This structural decision transformed his journey from a singular hero's quest into a team effort where the growth was exponential, not linear. This segment teaches us that while the face of the channel is singular, the engine of breakthrough innovation is always collective. The transition to CEO. The most profound shift in the mrbeast narrative is the moment Jimmy Donaldson transitioned from being a creator to operating as a chief executive officer. This is the delegation pillar. When his channel reached a certain size, he recognized a fundamental truth. His most valuable asset was not his editing skill or his camera work, but his ability to ideate and execute high-level strategy. He began viewing hiring not as a cost center, but as a mechanism to free up his time for high-leverage activities. The mindset is revolutionary. Hire people to handle anything that is not the most impactful thing he can do. This allowed him to dedicate 100% of his primary attention to million-dollar ideas, hyper-analyzing audience retention data, and figuring out the next YouTube SEO breakthrough. The narrative lesson here is that you cannot achieve exponential growth while still editing every frame or answering every email. The CEO shift is the realization that to scale, you must ruthlessly prioritize your unique contribution and systematically outsource every other task. This transition is where the momentum became unstoppable, proving that his intelligence lies not just in creativity, but in organizational strategy, hyper-optimization, and outsourcing. Building on the CEO mindset, this segment details the practical execution of the hyper-optimization pillar. The goal was to eliminate any friction in his life that did not directly contribute to content creation or business strategy. This includes extreme examples, like ordering food constantly to avoid leaving his house and interrupting the workflow. This dedication to time conservation goes beyond typical efficiency tips. It's a commitment to treating every minute as an incredibly valuable, finite resource that must be directed toward the highest value tasks. This level of optimization is what underpins his consistent, high-quality output and, by extension, his incredible audience retention. Consistency at that scale is only possible when you build a system that can absorb non-work responsibilities. The outsourcing isn't a luxury. It's a strategic necessity to maximize the subject's creative energy. This section provides a stark, if extreme, model for creators. Identify the tasks that drain your creative battery and figure out how to delegate them. It demonstrates that maximizing YouTube success is often about minimizing distraction and building a fortress around the time dedicated to high-impact work, which for him became the creation of blockbuster content. Scaling the physical infrastructure. For a digital empire, the structural reality of the business must be physical. This is the infrastructure pillar. MrBeast's progression from filming in his bedroom to securing his first small warehouse, and eventually the multi-warehouse campus, is a cinematic representation of his ambition. This tangible growth serves two vital purposes. First, it physically enabled the increasingly massive and complex video ideas. You cannot build a Squid Game set or bury a friend alive without the necessary space and resources. Second, it provides a powerful, visual narrative arc for the audience. Every new piece of real estate serves as a recognizable milestone of progress. The anecdote about the initial warehouse with the yellow floor and the fire truck doors grounds the massive scale and humble beginnings, making the growth feel earned and relatable. The message is clear. Scaling a business on YouTube requires constant reinvestment into the physical capability of your operations. The audience retention benefit is that the viewer is constantly rewarded with more spectacular content, which is only possible because the infrastructure supports it. This demonstrates a deep understanding of the relationship between physical resources and digital output. The evolution of content strategy. Once the infrastructure was in place, the core product had to be optimized for global dominance. This is the universal appeal pillar. MrBeast made a critical creative pivot, moving away from reliance on complicated dialogue and verbal context to embrace pure, spectacular visual storytelling. The strategic goal was to create content that was instantly understandable and entertaining, regardless of the viewer's language. Think of it as a universal language of spectacle. This is the highest form of audience retention, minimizing cognitive load while maximizing the reward. Viewers don't have to work to understand the premise. They simply witness the spectacle. This creative decision was the key to unlocking global viewership and making the content perfectly suited for dubbing. The focus on high-stakes, visual challenges meant that the video's impact was universal, solving the problem of international market access before it even existed. This reveals the sophistication of their YouTube SEO strategy, where content is engineered for worldwide relevance, ensuring that the next step, localization, would be a frictionless success. Global expansion and localization. The final structural move in the scaling phase is the localization pillar. Having engineered content for universal visual appeal, the team then executed a classic business strategy, global expansion through dubbing. The success of channels like MrBeast Espanol, which command millions of views per video, proves the effectiveness of this approach. This move isn't just about translating. It's about conquering new markets by respecting local language preferences. This structural decision transformed MrBeast from a North American creator into a true global media brand. They leveraged their high-quality, high-retention content and multiplied its impact across dozens of international audiences. For creators in the creator economy, the lesson is that true scale requires looking beyond your primary audience. The foundation of YouTube's success today lies in understanding that your audience isn't a single demographic, but a fragmented global population ready to engage with high-value content, provided it's presented in a way that feels native to them. The efficiency of this model, creating one video and multiplying its reach exponentially, is the ultimate proof of their systematic approach. The final rehook and conclusion. You've now seen the 11 pillars that form the full story of MrBeast's empire, from the initial spark of passion to the final, calculated move of global localization. But there is one final, subtle strategic move that all top creators execute, and it happens right now. This is the retention outro. After delivering all this high-value information, the creator needs to convert the engaged viewer into a subscriber or a commenter. The ultimate technique is the final rehook, where the creator explicitly acknowledges the viewer's time investment and drives immediate action. The MrBeast team often ties a final, engaging question or a giveaway to a subscription, turning the call to action into a high-stakes event. This segment is structured to avoid a long, drawn-out goodbye, which kills audience retention. Instead, the host delivers the final call to action. Click the like button, subscribe, check the description, and then immediately cuts. The ultimate lesson in YouTube SEO and audience retention is this. In with a definitive plan, deliver the CTA quickly, and then cut abruptly to secure maximum view duration. Now, Use this blueprint to redefine your own channel strategy.